So from the footage you've seen on the bench source by Verdicts, that is my annealing machine. And the purpose of that is to bring back the elasticity in the metal, or the brass, I'm sorry. Anytime you work brass, you get it closer to being case hardened. And what case hardening is when you are metal hardening, or metal fatigue is when you take metal and you put a tension in a particular spot, i.e. around the shoulder and the neck. For example, if I was to take this metal rod and bend it back and forth, that bend point will ultimately heat up, become brittle, do the case hardening, and snap at that point. That can happen with brass, and you'll see the fatigue, and you'll see the compromise around the mouth or opening of the brass, and also at the shoulders where you start to see cracks. So with the annealing machine, you want to anneal and preferably get your brass heated to about 500 to 650 degrees Fahrenheit, and this puts it back to like a factory reset. It puts the elasticity back in the brass. And when you seat the bullets, you don't have the tension or restriction that you would feel versus not annealing. And this is what factory brass looks like. Virgin brass. This is annealed brass, once fired Starline 6.5 Creedmoor brass. This brass has been shot. It's been deprimed. It's been tumbled in dry tumble walnut media and put in the annealing machine. That is my process before putting a new primer in, putting a powder charge, and ultimately seating the bullets. By having that factory reset around the shoulder and the throat or the mouth of the bullet, I actually can control and have more consistent and single-digit extreme spreads and standard deviations, which are important numbers for downrange accuracy. If you want to see those extreme spreads and standard deviations go into the single digits, annealing is the process that you need. When you anneal the brass properly, you start to increase the life of the brass. You can go from 10 to 15 shots per piece of brass. I got roughly 100 pieces of brass. If I anneal this properly and care for this brass properly, that's 1,500 shots. If I take 3 bags of Starline brass, which comes 100 pieces of brass per, I have 4,500 shots out of 3 bags of brass when properly cared for. That's about the life of a 6.5 Creedmoor barrel. So I think annealing it, caring for it properly, is worth the weight in gold. In the long run, you'll definitely see how you can benefit from that. So the annealing process is not a process that I would skip if you're serious about long range shooting and extending the life of your brass. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to chime in the comment section. If I missed something, stated something incorrectly, educate me in the comment section. As always, stay safe, stay trained. See you out on the range.